In 2023, Activision laid off a ton of their 2D illustrators and set up mandatory AI training for staff. Internal emails clarify that Activision has greenlit use of Stable Diffusion, which is an AI image generator, and they've been using it for roughly 2 years now. If we take a look at Black Ops 6's loading screens and calling cards, it's not even hidden anymore. They are obviously using AI. Let's start by taking a peek at the Fearwood loading screen for zombies. There appears to be this humanoid creature that's facing forwards and backwards at the same time. And there's also a picture in Call of Duty Black Ops 6 of a hand holding some gobblegum with what appears to be 6 fingers and a plethora of calling cards that are just so blatantly not created by humans. I mean, come on, what are we doing here? But to be fair, only a miracle could save a company like Activision. A Christmas miracle. Oh my god, 6-finger Santa, you're real! I don't know about you guys, but even for Activision, I think that this is a whole new level of slime. My problem with Call of Duty isn't even that it's the same thing every year. I actually like the core gameplay, but they just keep pushing the franchise further down this black hole of future. Engagement-based matchmaking, AI-generated loading screens. Activision's really missing out on thematic video game artwork. Grand Theft Auto 4's console loading screens were super cool because even though there weren't many variants, they were different from each other and gave off this feeling of cold, hard crime badassery. And accompanied with the music, really got the player immersed in whatever chaos they were about to ensue. And you know what's funny? The GTA 4 girl actually had 11 fingers because the artist made a mistake, but damn, isn't it cool that a human being or beings took time to create these iconic illustrations based off of the context of Liberty City's dreary atmosphere? Like it or not, these pictures have infinitely more value than any of Call of Duty's AI-generated loading screens because they took time to be made. And even though I only played 1/3 of GTA 4 on Xbox 360 before switching to PC, I still remember these loading screens because they're just that cool. From what we know right now, pretty much every single remaining artist at Activision is against generative AI. And personally, every single artist that I know is also against generative AI. And how can you not be? At this point in time, AI art is pretty easy to spot because the characters in frame will usually have a soulless or basic expression, and if not, there will be minor inconsistencies that are easy to point out. But the only way this technology is going to get better is if it steals more art made by people who can actually create something new. Have you heard of a game called High on Life? It's a successful and well-received game, but also used Midjourney for the in-game posters. When you're driving around Los Santos, you'll see a ton of billboards labeled with outlandish nonsense, and when you really take the time to read what they say, they're so goofy because a human being actually took time to plan and make these posters. That's why when you see an AI-generated video of a male character sucking another male character's feet, it's just not funny. I mean, I'll still save it for later, you know what I'm saying? But it's lost all comedic value because a human being didn't take time out of their everyday life to make it. I've never been one to buy the new Call of Duty every single year, but if this is the direction that Activision's taking, where they're going to use AI to make the digital art in games, I'm not gonna buy the new Call of Duty anymore. I really care about video games as an art form, and I think they're a really unique art form because they take full advantage of every other art form and combine it into one interactive project. There's music, there's digital art, there's all kinds of stuff. It's like a collage of art bunched together for an immersive virtual journey. But if a bunch of that stuff is gonna be made by AI, then it's just not really art anymore because the expression is completely gone. In the case of something like DLSS, I get that. It's optional, it's a gimmick, but with generative AI, developers are letting the robot take control of what would be subtle world building, which is tragic, and dare I even say, straight up unfortunate. Hollow Knight is a very original and good looking game, and its visual handicaps like the wiggly outlines due to the frame-by-frame animation and simple character designs give it this instantly recognizable look that AI could never replicate. Something about AI art is because it's made by a computer that doesn't need to worry about how much time it wants to spend making one picture, stylistic choices like obscured backgrounds or jagged lines are void in AI art and makes the picture look so unauthentic and soulless. Like 6-Finger Santa and the many comics I see online that have this eye-bleedingly corporate look to them. Which leads me to the next big advancement with generative AI, and that's how companies are starting to experiment with AI-generated generated NPC behavior. Last year, NVIDIA and In-World AI partnered to make a tech demo showing off the capabilities of AI-generated NPC behavior. Basically, by giving an NPC certain prompts like nervous or joyful, you can train the AI to behave within those limitations and give the character a personality that will react to your in-game actions and dialogue. Skyrim has also received a mod recently where somebody incorporated artificial intelligence into the game so that NPCs will respond to what you have to say to them if you type or speak to them with your microphone. While this may be futuristic and cool, I can't help but feel like this shouldn't be the new norm. A big attractant to video games for a lot of people is that there's subtleties to analyze, the words people say in passing, the letters NPCs have in their bedside table. If the little things are handled by AI so that developers can focus exclusively on coding, then that will be the death of subtext as we know it. Every little brick builds a wall called a narrative, and if every brick is built to cater towards the individual, as in NPCs acting different depending on the player, then where is the creative expression of a story? That's just a script written to tell you what you want to hear. Additionally, every human actor brings something to the table based off of personal experience that allows them to capture their role, whether they're an insignificant NPC or a major role in the story. Personally, I like to listen to dialogue in video games, but if that dialogue is just going to be a generated sentence, then what's the point? Where's the human connection that we naturally gravitate towards when reading a book, watching a movie, or playing a video game? That's not art. That's an algorithm. And if I wanted to let an algorithm take over my life, I'd be a YouTuber. So where does the art start and where does it end with AI-assisted video games? You can't just paint 80% of a canvas and tell an AI to do the rest of it. There would be no point to analyze that piece because some of the symbolism, which could be studied, was just another AI-generated decision that it did not give one shit about. So there really wouldn't be anything to care for in the piece since it could mean anything, and an AI doesn't have a sliver of emotional drive to make anything worth analyzing. It's a computer. But what's a 20% AI video game when you could have an 100% AI video game? Some of you may be thinking, Justin, what are you talking about? Go back to Dairy Queen, learn how to say Argonaut, and get off of YouTube. But I'm serious. It is actually happening, and it is real, and you can play them right now. Recently, Microsoft dropped their AI-generated iteration of Quake 2 that's completely free and available to play in your browser, using their AI video game model, WAV. The M is silent. They can generate over 10 360p images a second, essentially making old-school gaming possible with the backbone of artificial intelligence. It's a pretty surreal experience, but of course, because it's AI, nothing is consistent, and stuff is constantly popping in and out of shot. Another AI-generated video game that's been floating around has been Oasis, which is an AI-generated version of Minecraft created by an Israeli startup company called Descartes. Personally, I think it's kind of a conflict of interest that a game so fake came out of a country called Israel, but Oasis runs significantly better than Microsoft's Quake, with a frame generation rate of 0.04 seconds, making the gameplay much more fluent, and there's also mouse support, which is nice. Because Oasis is an AI-generated video game like Microsoft's Quake, nothing is consistent and the landscape constantly changes. Like, if you look at the ground for too long, your entire game geeks out and the map shifts into entirely different biomes in some cases. This shines light on my main problem with AI in video games. Are AI-generated video games good? Will AI realism filters take over gaming? And the answer is no. At least I really fucking hope not. Like, if you slapped a realistic AI filter over Reddit or GTA, the farther you go from an object, the more the AI will geek and forget what you're even looking at. This whole AI phenomenon was obviously going to happen at some point. I mean, technology is and always will evolve, but I just hate how much slop is going to replace actual talent in the industry if this keeps progressing and ends up becoming normalized in gaming. In the case of shitty AI video games made by indie devs, those will always exist. People will always try to make that GTA competitor with artificially intelligent NPCs that react to you and you can be anything and do anything you want, and then the game fails because a team of 2 people can't actually make something of that scale good.
Oh, I need a gun.
Hey, yo, you tripping, man. This ain't the place to be talking about no guns. You better chill with that.
Can you tell that I've seen this happen before? But it goes back to Call of Duty and how big companies that have been in the industry for a long time are putting their chips into AI too, and I just can't stand the idea of that. Fortunately, there is still a ton of talent in the industry that most definitely won't be replaced anytime soon. I mean, GTA 6 looks amazing, and Rockstar said the trailer was captured on a base PlayStation 5. The Witcher 4's development team has seemingly optimized Unreal Engine 5 specifically for that game so it can run at a target 60 frames per second without a stuttering problem on consoles while looking jaw-droppingly beautiful. So I guess we're gonna have to see what happens. But what do you guys think about all this? Do you like AI? Do you hate AI? Tell me why you hate AI in the comments below, and I'll check them out as soon as I possibly can. As always, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video, and if you don't have a good one, I'm gonna kill